Now, broadcast cameras have been given the boot at the Senzo Meyiwa Murder Trial, but earlier today, Tumelo Madlala admitted he did not see Fisokuhle Ntuli in the house where Senzo Meyiwa was shot. Ntuli is accused 5 in the Bafana Captain's Murder Trial. Madlala is being cross-examined earlier today by Ntuli's lawyer. Okay, now let's bring in Elton Hart from the UJ Law Clinic for some legal analysis on the latest from the court that we saw earlier this afternoon and this morning. Elton, good afternoon. Welcome to today. Obviously, I'm not inside court. Slindelo Masigane is always inside there with all kinds of questions that she puts to you in the afternoon of the day of another appearance. We've seen Mr. Tumelo Madlala being cross-examined. Continuing that cross-examination was Advocate Mshololo on behalf of accused number 5. So far, yesterday there was a lot of evasiveness that was picked up. What did you pick up this morning with Mr. Madlala's testimony?
But then if I look at his testimony for today, again, it was like he gave evasive answers. He was not clear, and even as Advocate Mshololo put it to you this morning that if you don't know, you say you don't know, but he's still trying to cover, and it looks for me that he's trying to cover and adjust his story as he's been cross-examined. Now already under examination in chief, he gave a version. When Titi Tobani examined him, he also gave a version of certain events. And now I'm already hearing some sort of another adjustment to the stories that was given by him to evidence in chief under cross-examination by Titi Tobani and now with Advocate Mshololo as well. So again, already there's a lot of things that's not connecting, and she's now actually unraveling and rattling him to such an extent that he is now looking at how can I actually structure my answers for it to make sense. And I mean, you can see also that Advocate Beloy, the way he's objecting is uneasy because he can see that his witness is being taken apart and his evidence will not stand, and there will be a credibility finding against this guy.
Yeah, how crucial was it for Advocate Mshololo to establish that, in fact, in her view, there was no intruder who had entered the house, because Mr. Madlala said he never heard any noise when the intruder came in?
It is very important because the moment if they can put doubt that nobody entered the house, then it moves back to the docket 375, which says that these guys that's currently in the dock is not the alleged murderers or alleged murderer. It's somebody else, and that somebody else can then only be that 7 people that was in the house. And that is what Advocate Mshololo is moving towards, and I think that is a good stance that she's taking to actually say, listen, nobody entered that house. The only people that was in the house is you guys, and one of the guys that was in that house fired a shot which fatally wounded Senzo Meyiwa. And you guys should be prosecuted and not one of these 5 guys that's currently sitting in the dock.
Yeah, and of course she's representing accused number 5, and she got Mr. Madlala today to admit that accused number 5, Mr. Fisokuhle Ntuli, was actually not there in that house in Fostores during that night when Senzo Meyiwa was shot and killed.
But even Advocate Mshololo, she did a great job. She even went as far as saying when he had to explain who's the first intruder, how the first intruder looked, and the second intruder. And already there, when in examination in chief, he said he was sure he could see the second intruder had a spotty on, it short dreads, and I even hear there was mention of gold teeth and stuff like that. Now today and yesterday, he testified that he had a slight look. He did not properly look. So now it moved from him being sure. So now identity becomes an issue. He cannot clearly identify who it is. So now the state is now forced to either call Zandi Kumalo, Kelly Kumalo, or their mother, or Longa, or Mtokozizi Twala. Now it will get into those people. And if those versions are going to be totally different from what we see, then we have a serious problem for the state. Then we can now surely expect that an application in terms of 174 is coming the way of the state, that these guys be acquitted.
Yeah, and finally, if you may, I don't know if you can, Elton, comment on the fact that the judge was very upset that somebody apparently taken a photo of Madlala during the adjournment and photoshopped it. And he said he won't proceed without the culprit being found. And also the broadcast media is no longer inside there.
But I think that is now prematured by the judge, and I think it's unfair. It goes against the grain of Section 16 of the Constitution, because he's making a ruling on a photo. So, firstly, he made an order that there be a pull feed for the media houses. So, if the pull feed is coming from SABC, why is Newsroom and eNCA being punished for a pull feed that's already coming from SABC? You guys don't have control in eNCA and Newsroom about this. So for me, for starters, that is wrong. Instead of just saying, guys, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and this is a still photo that was published. And I mean, even it's not just media houses. There's also other people from the general public that sits in that courtroom. They could have it could even be one of the police officers, for that matter, the ones that's there to protect the witnesses. We don't know. And to just go and hush, go in and now fight with the media houses to say as if they were the ones that actually, that for me, it's a little bit too harsh. And to just say, I'm going to call it off until the culprit, you might not even find the culprit. So for me, that ruling was not fair towards the media houses.